on the UFC beat for UFC 257. And look at us, guys. We're back.
We're back.
In the Odd Shark Bar. Scott was finally able to pass the COVID test, so we're back here together to break down our best bets for the event. And we're going to start like we always do in the main event, and it is a big one. We have Conor McGregor coming in as a big favorite, minus 300. Dustin Poirier coming back at plus 250, and I like McGregor in this one. I don't like him at minus 300. You got to try to find some value. You can take him by TKO or KO, minus 175. Still a little bit too juicy for me. My favorite bet for this fight is the under 1.5 rounds. It's there at plus 120 at Bovada as of Wednesday afternoon. So a couple different reasons why I like this bet. First of all, it leaves the door open to an upset, so either fighter can win. But like I said, I do think McGregor is going to win this fight, and I do think stylistically, very bad matchup for Dustin Poirier, who gets hit way too much. He's been on the wrong end of over 100 significant strikes in 3 of his last 5 fights. Going up against McGregor with that pinpoint accuracy and punching power. So I like that, and I like McGregor to come out absolutely flying in a similar manner to the Cowboy Cerrone fight, which I think he won in under a minute, right? And now he's coming on this one saying he's going to win in under 60 seconds. Again, I'm going to give Poirier a little bit of credit here. I think he can last a little bit longer than Cowboy did, but I do think McGregor, such a big mental edge in this one as well. He seems to be at the top of his game, so I love McGregor, but I think the best bet for this fight, the best value, under 1.5 rounds at plus 120. Now we're going to go to the man with the Irish flag. And let me ask you, do you have Irish blood, or are you just a poser?
I'm a poser. I'm Scottish,
Okay.
so that's kind of close to being Irish, but also if anyone who's actually Scottish heard me say that, they would hate me now officially forever. But yeah, it's a McGregor fight, so I got my Irish flag out. It was almost a year ago to the date. We sat in this room. I said McGregor first round against Cerrone, and it was one of the easiest plus money bets I've ever hit. So I'm on the exact same bet again this week. McGregor first round, plus 155. He finished Poirier in like under 2 minutes when they fought 6 years ago. And what makes you think it's going to be any different? Everyone keeps saying, oh, but Dustin Poirier has improved. As if McGregor hasn't improved as well. He's actually predicted the fight's going to be under 1 minute, and you can actually bet on that and get real aggressive at like plus 375. I'm not going to get that aggressive. I'm just going to do McGregor first round, plus 155. He has a huge psychological edge. I think he has a physical edge. History's going to repeat itself. McGregor first round. Scott, what do you got?
Conor McGregor. I'm going with Conor McGregor. As you guys said it all. He's got the pinpoint accuracy, he's got the power, he's got the win already over Dustin Poirier. But I like fading you. This one we can sort of split this. I like Conor McGregor in round 2 at plus 400. He does call his shot, and you got to give a little respect there. So a little sprinkle in the first minute at plus 375 is always fun. When a guy calls a shot, it seems disrespectful to do anything other than what they say. We look back at the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and he said, the second round, the man goes down. Well, I'm going to take that, throw that in this fight. Second round, Dustin Poirier goes down. The reason I go for the second round is that Conor has only finished Cowboy, Donald Cerrone, in the first round since he's moved up to featherweight. All the other fights have gone at least to the second round. Even the Eddie Alvarez fight, which he absolutely beat the crap out of in that first round, Eddie managed to survive, get to the second round, and was ultimately finished. I think Poirier is going to do the same thing. He's going to try and maintain distance, might chop away at some kicks, but if he gets cracked once, that could be all she wrote. But I like the value at second round, plus 400. Joe, what else you got?
Next up, I'm going to drop one fight to the co-main event. Very exciting one here. We have Michael Chandler making his UFC debut versus Dan Hooker, the Kiwi from New Zealand. And I don't see a whole lot of value on either side here, so I'm going to go with another prop. And I think this fight has decision written all over it, but I'm going to play it a little bit safer and just go with the over 2.5 rounds. You get that at minus 120 right now. So, guys, the reason I like this to be a longer fight is because I think Michael Chandler is going to play this one very safe. He's got a lot of pressure on him coming into this fight, making his debut at a Bellator. So for that reason, I think he's going to lean on his wrestling quite a bit, and that's going to chew up a lot of clock. It's going to limit those big-time striking exchanges. Hooker from New Zealand, the Kiwi, he's not an easy guy to put away. He hasn't been submitted in over a decade now. And I think, usually if you're Michael Chandler and you're looking at tape of Hooker, the Kiwi from New Zealand. And you see his last 2 fights, absolute firefights with Dustin Poirier, Paul Felder. He wants no part of that. So I like the over 2.5 rounds for the co-main event, -120. What do you got next?
Yeah, I'm looking at the co-main event as well. I am going to back the newcomer, Michael Chandler, though. Got him at even money. I think Bellator guys are a little bit undervalued coming over to the UFC. Don't forget, Eddie Alvarez came over from Bellator to the UFC, went on to win the lightweight championship, and Michael Chandler has a win over Eddie Alvarez. Also has 2 wins over former UFC lightweight champion Benson Henderson, including a knockout win in his last fight. Champions he's beaten. This guy beats champions, and I don't think Dan Hooker belongs in the echelon of champions. He's 1, maybe even 2 steps below. I mean, who has he beat lately? A bad decision against Paul Felder, Ally Quinta, James Vick. Who cares about those guys?
He fought the guy who's fighting for the welterweight title here in a couple weeks.
And lost.
And lost.
Still.
Michael Chandler, even money. Put some respect on these Bellator guys coming over to UFC. I think it's a bet to make in the co-main event.
Hooker!
So you did mention Eddie Alvarez's debut. You didn't mention that he lost that debut.
Yeah, no, that's not important.
We'll just
extremely flawed logic.
Avoid
here.
that one. I'm going to stay away from the co-main. I do think Chandler does win this fight. His hands are so powerful, and he just when he's on, he storms right at you, throws nasty, powerful hands. But I'm going to go a fight before that one if we just chip down this main card. And Ottman Azaitar is fighting Matt Frivola. And that's a little bit of a tongue twister on those 2 names. But Azaitar, absolute cannons in his hands. He's got 2 first-round finishes in the UFC. His first one, Teemu Packalén, who was known for his great wrestling. They felt each other out for about 2 minutes, and then once Azaitar let his hands fly, he absolutely flatlined Packalén, had his leg twitch, and it was pretty awesome. And then he fought Kama Worthy, who also can strike, very heavy hitter. He came at Azaitar, and he ended up in the same way, face down, collecting not his win bonus, just his show money. So Azaitar, -160, I like him. And if you want to sprinkle for a little extra value, take him by a first round or just by a knockout over Matt Frivola. Of course, Frivola, he's on a 2-fight winning streak. He seems to be coming into his own in the UFC, but he was dropped by Lando Venata by a head kick. And if you're getting dropped by Venata and you're going up against a power hitter like Azaitar, I don't like your chances. So -160 for that one.
All right, so let me ask, are you going to go full-on poser for this main event, get a little proper 12, maybe a couple pints of Guinness beforehand?
Yep. Yeah, and I think I'm just going to speak in an Irish accent all night as well. Might as well go all in.
All right, so that does it for our best bets for UFC 257, but we got a ton more content on this event. Check out our YouTube page right now where I had a very great conversation with John Anik where we discussed, of course, this event and a whole bunch of other topics related to the UFC. And Scott, I believe you have some stuff up on the website.
Yeah, that's right. I've got all the odds for the main card, as well as my best bets for each of the 5 fights, I believe it is, on the main card. Top to bottom, lots of fun, lots of best bets, lots of money to be made.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for watching this video and for all the latest MMA betting news. Head on over to oddshark.com, the pound for pound king of sports betting news. Woo!